Happy Chinese New Year! How is everyone today? I am Majinga, this is Jeannie. And we are proud to be here at Eaglebrook. Is the year started off well for everyone? What you have just seen is the ancient art of Bian Lian, face change, from the Sichuan opera, as Mr. Chase has told you. We learned this art in Beijing when we were there in 2005, and it is our pleasure to be here under the auspices of Mrs. Hildebrandt to bring it to you all the way from California today. Did you enjoy it? Xie. And now, the long sleeve dance of China.
家人们在 Okay, we have an opportunity for a few questions before we run up for dinner, and then right before we go to dinner, Miss LaPointe will give an overview of today's program. But first of all, let's give Jinja and Jeannie a great round of applause, and then we'll open it to questions. Do you want me to call on the people, or do you want to call on? Okay, just call on the. Okay.
谢谢, Mr. Chase. Thank you again, Eaglebrook, for having us out here today. My name, Majinga, comes from actually a Portuguese, African, Brazilian martial art called capoeira. How many of you have heard of capoeira? So I was a student. I am a graduate of capoeira. And when I discovered the Bian Lian art, I decided I can use my martial arts a little bit to incorporate some magic. And it is my favorite act. It's a pleasure to bring it out here for you. Jeannie and I discovered it in 2003. It's a very secretive art. I believe I'm the first Caucasian to learn this art. Jeannie is of Chinese and Korean heritage, and she is third-generation dancer from San Francisco, Chinatown. We've performed out there many times. Yes. And we have time to take just a few questions about Chinese arts, Chinese magic in general, and how one may find an interest in this multicultural act. Do we have any questions from the back, especially? It's a fascinating art form. Yes, in the very back, in the red. Exactly, that's the secret. The most skilled Bian Lian performers make their own masks, and it takes a lot of practice. We had to practice for 4 years before our first public demonstration of this, because if you make one mistake, the act is ruined. So is it one mask? Is it many masks? How does the mask change? When we were on television, we got a lot of comments on our YouTube channel that they thought it was an electronic mask, something like that. But think about this. This art goes back 300 years. Think about what they had available then, not now. And that will give you a little bit of a clue into this fascinating art. Another couple questions? Yes, in the pink. Jeannie and I are world travelers. We've performed in 20 countries to date. And when we went to Beijing, we did a cultural exchange where I was teaching magic to a circus school, and they took us to the Laozi Tea House in Beijing, and we saw our first performance of Bian Lian. I had to meet a Bian Lian master to learn the secret, and it was 4 years of practice every day in order to build the confidence to know that I wouldn't make a mistake and be able to perform the act. With that being said, now that we've been performing it for over 12 years, I'm still learning every day. There's always something new to learn in all arts, especially this one. It's very multifaceted. Thank you. One more question, perhaps? Let's take this one back here. Maybe we can get to you. Yes, sir. Thank you. I decided I wanted to be a professional magician when I was very young. I did my first show at age 11, so I've been doing this almost 4 years now. And my parents were very supportive. They made sure that education was important and foremost. And when I started making money doing magic and I could pay my own bills, eventually buying my own home in the San Francisco Bay Area, they know it is a legitimate career field, just as anything else. But yes, I had a passion from an early age, and I followed it. I never dropped it. I believe that is part of my success. Yes, sir. Jeannie, would you care to answer this one? I think he's referring to your ribbon dance at the beginning. Is that correct? Well, we began the act with a ribbon dance, and we ended with a ribbon. Would you like to say us a little bit about that?
Well, first of all, I used to sell the silk that you see here on stage. The multicolored silk is really beautiful. I think he's referring to one of the streamers that has multicolored, and it's not actually sewn together. It's actually hand dyed so that each of the sections would be a different color. So it takes a lot of work. Thank you for appreciating it.
Silk is one of the treasures of China, too, and you might have seen the magic where I blend the silks into the dragon. The dragon, of course, is a symbol of good luck, as is the color red. And with that, Mr. Chase, do you have any more questions, or maybe it's time for me to hand the microphone over to you? Okay.